Today we're going to talk about the progress principle. This is another principle that is a part of knowledge worker productivity. And as I've said before, productivity for us as knowledge workers has a lot of individualization to it. There are common principles that are solid and they undergird all of our productivity, and yet it will look very different from me to you to someone else. Critical to understand first the principle and then figure out how that fits in with our own strengths and how to best leverage that principle. Today we're talking about the progress principle, and essentially what that says is that we are most likely to be motivated, engaged, productive when we see that we are making progress daily on meaningful work. So those are the two components, progress and meaningful work. This is true for all of us. Motivation and staying engaged they are pieces of productivity. And if we're not feeling that we're seeing progress or that what we're doing has any meaning, it feels more like busy work, it's a much greater likelihood that our productivity is going to drop, and quite substantially. So what do we do with this information? Again, it's individualized. What feels like progress to me may not feel like progress to you. What feels meaningful to me may not feel like meaningful to you, even if we're working on similar projects. So progress. Here's a tip of a way to think about progress and being able to see progress. A lot of that has to do with how we put together our day. How do we craft our day? And one of the things that I want to draw your attention to is the mix we put in our day of easy tasks versus hard or more complex tasks. Ideally, we're looking for a blend of the two. If we spend too much time on the easy stuff, we're more likely to not feel that we really made worthwhile contribution. We got a lot of stuff done, but did it really matter? And if we spend too much time on maybe some of the larger projects that have more complexity to them, it's easy to then get in the place where you're not necessarily feeling like you're making progress because it's complicated. It takes more time. So to adhere to that progress, it really makes sense for us to pay attention to how we're constructing our days and how we're constructing our weeks so that we really have a blend of the easy along with the more complex. So that's one way to start looking at how do we ensure that we're seeing that progress daily, which will keep us in our high productivity zone. The second part, meaningful work. Generally, meaningful work are the things that we can see have a direct link to the strategic directives of our business or of the organization that we are working for. In our business, if we don't see those direct links, that's really a sign for us to pause and look at what we are doing and where is the work occurring that deals with those strategic directives. It wasn't that long ago that I did one of my reviews, and I went back and I was looking at my goals. I had recently started using a task management tool, which has been very helpful. And yet what I realized is that I had gotten so focused on the tasks as I was implementing the task management tool that there was very little evidence of strategic work. Now, for a short time, that was okay. At this point that I was realizing it had gone on a little bit longer than really made sense. It's critically important that we look at this and consider it matters. And it can be easy for a whole host of reasons to get off track, even when it's our own business. When we are an employee in an organization, when we cannot see that direct link from what we are working on to an impact or something that is in the strategic plan of our organization, that's a great opportunity to have a conversation with our boss. To just say, I'm not seeing a link. Can you help me understand how it is linked? For me, that was one of the most challenging jobs that I had when I was a supervisor, is helping staff see, because honestly, I sometimes really had to work at it myself, that when we looked at the strategic objectives, when we were in an organization-wide meeting and they were talking about those important things, to be able to see our work as leading towards that strategic objective. When we cannot see that link, it is really a sign for us to pause. Our own business, it's really looking to connect it and make sure we're not spending too much time doing things that really don't matter. If we're in an organization, it's a great opportunity to have a conversation. Progress principle. It really matters if we are serious about our productivity that we see progress regularly and we feel that it is meaningful work. Both of those are going to look a little different for all of us, and yet that principle holds true. So give it thought. How do you keep track of, are you making progress? And are you making enough progress that you feel like it matters? And do you feel that there's a connection of what you are doing day to day and that it is meaningful towards the goals of the business or the organization? That's today's productivity tip. Bye for now.